What is the deal, beautiful people? It's your boy, Uncle Reza. Yes, Metal Gear. You know, Snow's been doing a lot of coverage on this. He's got some madness going on. But I figured I'd weigh in because people wanted to know, what does that fucking PlayStation hater think about this PlayStation Bread series? Well, to be quite frank with you, I think this game is a small to medium slice of heaven. I can't, there's no better way to put it. And I did a video where I said I was definitely going to buy this game off principle because I liked a lot of what was going on and the decisions that were made behind it. And I purchased it on Steam. And I have been thoroughly happy and satisfied since. This game is the epitome of gaming. And what's very interesting about it is this does not come from a Metal Gear fan. In fact, the only thing I remember about the Metal Gear series is playing the first one on the PlayStation and the DualShock controller going ape shit when the helicopter landed. That's all I remember from Metal Gear. I don't know anything about any of no fucking sniper battle with some fucking sniper in the woods and you gotta leave the PlayStation off for 24 hours and the guy dies of. No, I don't know anything about that. I don't care to know anything about that. In a podcast we had a few weeks back, I said I was curious because I started to hop aboard the hype train for this game and I wanted to really dive in, and you know, Snow assured me that it's too little too late to go back and really play from one and all through the other Metal Gears, and it would be too much. And I you know, I've gotten an opinion from a few people, a few fans of the series, and they agreed it's kind of too much. But the amazing part is you don't really need to go back to understand this game. There's a lot of dynamics in here that work and really help you piece it together. So all over the map and certain missions and whatnot, there's these tapes of these conversations that happen that really do a good job of filling you in pretty much throughout Snake's entire career. Or he's now called Big Boss. I think it's the best nickname ever. We go on record in that. I think there's Big Boss and then there's Master Chief. God damn it. So yeah, you know, I was shocked at how much this game pulled me in without me even being a fan of the series or even getting the backstory. I didn't even play the Ground Heroes or whatever the hell that's called. I kind of watched Snow play it over here the other day. He beat it in like 15 minutes. And I was thankful to see that because the game pretty much started right from that, which I thought was dope. So yeah, I mean, the storyline, even from the fans of the series, they seem to be happy because it ties a lot of loose ends up and so on and so forth. But god damn it, man, the gameplay is insane. And you know what, to be honest with you, the second thing about Metal Gear that I know about is the ridiculous cutscenes. And none of that's here. There are cutscenes, yes, but they do a good job of keeping it to, I wouldn't say a minimal, but keeping it relative, right? In fact, open world gaming is not my thing, and this brings me to part of why I love this game. Open world gaming is not my thing, and I find myself not really getting distracted by the freedom and the side missions. I just get bored as shit. For someone that's got ADD like myself, I prefer a more linear experience to keep me on track. Let me get in and beat this thing in 8 hours and go about my life. That's why I like Call of Duty's campaigns. I'm in and I'm out. That was crazy. That was amazing. Okay, next. Let me get back on Forza and start racing. That's me. And I know it's a preference thing, but again, that's me. So the cutscenes here, I find, are very well done, meaning as soon as I'm starting to like feel like there's a repetitive vibe going on, like, oh my god, I gotta do this again, or there's a cutscene and there's a little piece of the story, there's a surprise, I was like, wow, they do a really good job at pacing this game, and I can't say enough about it. Then you've got the atop of the open world, you got all the things that come along with it. And I used to be a huge RPG fan, not so much anymore. In fact, the only RPGs I play are the ones that I've been attached to. I got Gamerz on my Vita, and I got Final Fantasy Tactics, and that's as far as I'm going. Even when the Final Fantasy VII is going to be released again for the PlayStation 4, I don't think I'm diving in. But I kind of wanted to get into an RPG for the last year and a half again. But every time I step into a new one, I get so bored, and it's like, maybe RPGs are not for me anymore. But with Metal Gear, with things like the side missions, with things like the main mission, the stuff you can do at Mother Base and build up your own army, and the way you have to assign the staff to different positions, and the way you have to develop weapons and items, and this thing is a full-fledged RPG. And not only is it an RPG, it's an RPG that I'm not fucking bored of. I don't mind running around collecting black carrots. You get what I mean? Because it seems like the game is structured in such a way that it's in your path and you don't really mind doing it. And you wanna get more resources to get more toys, and it really does work. Man, I'm so impressed with this game. Now, I haven't gotten into Grand Theft Auto, and the reason Grand Theft Auto never really struck me as something I should play is because if I'm gonna play something with a gun, I like first-person shooter-like mechanics. I can't stand the reticles in Grand Theft Auto. As dope as that game is, I have no knock against that game at all. But I am thoroughly impressed with the weapons and how they're handled here in this game. The control is amazing. In fact, I saw some multiplayer footage the other day, and although I wasn't impressed, I wasn't impressed specifically with what was going on, but I still had to give a head nod at the fact that this action game / stealth game still has better shooting mechanics with recoil and red dots and sniper rifles than most of the shooters out there on the market. That's impressive. Again, a testament to the quality through and through on this game. You know, then you've got like your iDroid, where you can go in and pick your missions and call in supply drops, helicopter pickups. You can assign staff, all of that stuff. It's so tastefully done. Everything about this game is dope. And yes, from what you can see, this is the PC version. I bought it on Steam, and it looks amazing. It looks really good on the PlayStation 4 as well. I haven't seen it on the Xbox, although I heard the Xbox is the lesser or the least pretty of the three. Of course, we know the Xbox does not have the horsepower of the PlayStation, and the PlayStation ain't coming with close to the god graphics of the PC. But that is the chain of command, and I heard the game looks like it follows suit there, but it still runs buttery smooth on all platforms. So I like that. You know, there was a glitch that came out recently where if you use one of the characters quiet in the game, or 2 missions, it'll delete your shit. They're trying to address that. I'm not sure if they patched it yet, but nonetheless, I think this game is so dope. It puts me in some very intense moments where I can't quite figure out if to go in guns blazing or go in stealth. I do a mixture of both. The missions are dope. There's just everything about this game that I'm loving. And what I like about it is it maintains a video game aspect to it. There's a lot of silly shit, like the horse can take a shit. You can drop supplies on people's heads. You got the Fulton device that you tie a balloon to the dudes and they get hauled up in the air. There's a lot of comedy about that, and I think it's so dope. Like, this guy's creative power, I think, is absolute, and it's sad to see them part ways. And I don't know what happens or what's going to happen with the series after this, but I've never seen anything like this in gaming. This is a masterpiece. We're experiencing a masterpiece in this Metal Gear right here, and there's potentially quite frankly, we might never see it again. That's amazing to me, and that just adds to the allure of this game. Like, because we all know when something is a good formula, the gaming industry, the movie industry, the music industry, you gotta beat that shit to death. You milk it. It's literally done right now. The creative mind behind it is no more. He quit the company who owns the rights to the game. Like, no one knows what's gonna happen. This is interesting, and I really wanna follow this through. But this game's gonna last me a while, man. It's gaming season, yes. I'm knee deep into Forza. Yep, Halo's coming, and that's where I'll be. But what I like about the Metal Gear is that I can return and do a mission and get about an hour and a half of gameplay out of that. I feel like this game's gonna last me to about January or February, and I'm savoring every moment of it. I love it. The leniency to accomplish missions how you want. It's just, man, it's a masterpiece. I would say run out and get this game. This is one of the games where you should blindly purchase. No ifs and buts about it. Even if you're not an action game person, you gotta get it. If you're not a stealth person, you gotta get it. This is one of those games. This is something that it's a pinnacle, and I think we should, as gamers in the industry, like I've said before, we should support this type of shit, because there's been so much mediocrity in this industry. Now that we're seeing something that was delivered as promised, support the shit out of this game. Let the message get through that, yes, if you build it, we will come. It's your boy, Uncle RZA. Leave some comments below. Like the video if you liked it. I'm out of here. Peace.